What I feel is potentially happening is other countries are using these social media platforms to bring down treasured institutions that have been sacred in the United States for generations. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jeff Tack. So today was another bombshell revelation from YouTube. They announced their policy changes that they were implementing in relation to firearms channels on YouTube. Now, if you followed my channel at all, if you just happen across this this video, I do a lot of videos on guns and gear, knives. But there's been a big focus for me on guns and sharing gun knowledge and that sort of thing. So, first I was hit with the demonetization. I was a smaller channel. I still am a smaller channel. So there's the demonetization that hit. And then now they've just, so there's always been this perception by most people that YouTube was anti-gun. But they've really just kind of pulled the mask back and blatantly come out with their position. Now, most people don't know, or most people do know, that YouTube is based out of California. California being the highly liberal state that it is, it makes perfect sense that their policies are going to lean towards positions that are traditionally liberal. Given that California is a liberal state, they have liberal voting policies, they're anti-gun. They always have been, or they have been for the longest time, and that's starting to spread into their business practices. Well, YouTube is a business, right? Google's a business, they own it. They can do whatever they want, and from a business perspective, removing gun content from their platform it's a business decision that they feel is worth the risk in lost revenue because of the loss of gun channels and subscribers that go along with those gun channels. So now, we're left to make decisions as a community on where we're going to turn for sharing of content, sharing of ideas, making sure that we're bringing in, I was watching a channel today and they were talking about we need to stay relevant. We need to stay on platforms that people are visiting. And I echo that. I think that if you want to bring the next generation into the fold of the gun community, you have to welcome them in the platforms that they're in. YouTube has been a very liberating platform for people to be exposed to things that they may not be able to be exposed to if they're living in an inner city or they're living in an urban population where they don't have ready access to firearms, but they have an interesting curiosity what the whole Second Amendment thing is about. They can go to YouTube and they can learn about things that they wouldn't have, regular access to through public schools, teachers, librarians, or, the neighborhood cop, or whatever the case may be. They may not be in the gun culture, but they may have an affection and an understanding of the Constitution, and they want to support that. And so they go in and they seek this information out. And a great resource for the last 12, 15 years has been YouTube. YouTube has been an open source platform where people can go and upload their content. And as long as it wasn't a violation of law, you were free to upload just about anything you wanted to. And that all started to change in the last couple of years. There was the gun, the perceived attack on the gun community under the Obama administration. And I think a lot of lessons were learned by the anti-gunners that private companies can put restrictions on somebody that the government can't. And so there's been a lot of pressure placed on YouTube and Google in general around the gun community because the anti-gunners have learned that this is a great way to influence that. The other problem that I have, or that I feel is leading into this whole problem, is the fact that YouTube is an international offering. It's an international corporation. So anybody can view a video, whether you're in, the Philippines, or you're in Saudi Arabia, or you're in, the Congo or South Africa, or, the Ukraine, or wherever. You can watch those videos. And if there's something that offends your political beliefs. Maybe you believe strongly in the Communist Party. You're in China, and China has opened up YouTube for today, or they allowed the censors to scan American YouTube channels, and they're just sitting there flagging these channels, and these bots are going through these channels, and if they get too many, notifications that channel then gets flagged, that content gets brought down, that channel gets a strike, that creator gets banned, etc., etc., etc. YouTube then has to make business decisions about those interactions, and because they're an international company, their market isn't the United States of America and the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and the Constitution and those kinds of protections. It's the international market that doesn't have a constitution. They have no free speech. They have no Second Amendment. And so if you're in Finland and you're offended by a fully automatic bump stock, or a bump stock that makes your gun fully automatic, and you want to flag that content, you could do that all day. And YouTube, being the international company that it is, has no obligation to protect the content that's on there or the creators that make that content, even though they have a government protected right to put that content out without repercussions from their government. So that's both a plus and a minus. The United States of America has learned quite a bit by being able to get a lot of this content out to the world and, share in our freedoms and share in our liberty. But at the same time, that's come with the downside that now the other countries of the world that don't like the United States, that would like to see the United States torn apart, that would like to see the United States dissolve in chaos and anarchy, because that elevates their positions, whether they be Russians or Chinese or, whoever else. Argentina doesn't like the United States. There's a lot of countries out there that don't like the US. And so, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. If you get enough of these enemies that combine their efforts to attack the civil liberties of Americans and can create social chaos in the United States using platforms that are First Amendment protected, but are still corporations, then you can bring down those voices and you can create strife in these communities. And we've seen it for years now. We've seen it when Obama was president and the racial divisions with Black Lives Matter. We see it with Antifa and the anti-fascist movements. We see it in the alt-right. We see it in people saying that Nazism is being supported. You see it with Trump being in office. And just the mere fact that he's in office and the Russian collusion story that's been perpetuated in the media, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. These stories don't stop. And what's happening is other countries, or what I feel is potentially happening, is other countries are using these social media platforms to bring down treasured institutions that have been sacred in the United States for generations. So now, a video that talks about one of these, or God forbid, one of these scary things, is going to get a YouTube strike. He's going to get a channel strike. And you get enough strikes, 3 strikes, and you're out. There's channels like Demolition Ranch or Hickok 45 that have over 1 million subscribers. What's going to happen to their channels? They have thousands of videos up. What's going to happen to their channels? How vocal have they been to preserving and protecting, the Constitution and the Second Amendment? Are they out there, advocating for your rights? I got into a discussion on Facebook today about one of the more popular gun channels, and I was actually surprised by some of the comments and some of the responses that people were putting up on this channel about how being apolitical has benefited a gun channel. And I'm just kind of stunned by that, because being apolitical in a hyper-political environment means that you're going to lose. You're going to lose your ability to have the rights that you cherish. You're a gun channel. Your rights are based off of the Bill of Rights that's protected in the Constitution, and you won't use your First Amendment right to protect your Second Amendment right, because you may offend somebody and lose subscribers. And I really question the morals and the ethics of those kinds of people, because they just don't have a compass. You know, they don't have a moral compass that says, I'm doing this because it's the right thing. You know, I served in the military for 12 years. I served as a firefighter. I got peace officer certified. You know, I served my community. I've been an employee of the government for almost 20 years now, you know, and I serve my community, and I try to make where I live as a better place. And every day I'm living by the position of preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. You know, that's the oath that I took when I was 17, and I retook it many times throughout my life. And I believe that, you know, and I will fight for that oath. And, you know, YouTube is a private industry. It's a private corporation. They can do whatever they want, and they are, but they also can know that what they're doing is unsettling to freedom-loving Americans. And I think that there are more of us than there are of them. And, you know, the only way that YouTube is going to change its policies and its position is if it feels it in their wallet. It may be too late for YouTube. You know, they've been chiseling away and chiseling away and chiseling away, you know, the Second Amendment and gun channels for so long that, you know, it's almost become second nature that this is the way it is. And, you know, it may be too late for gun channels. You know, I've started dual uploading all of my videos now. I upload to bitshoot.com. You can find me there at Jeff_tack if you want to, you know, go check me out and follow my videos. You know, as it stands right now, there's going to be very limited exposure. There's already no money in this. You know, I'm filming this on a almost $1,000 camera. I'm you know, microphones and lights, and, you know, just this shit ain't cheap, right? So, you know, to put out half decent content, and mine's not even the best. You know, there's people that really invest quite a bit of time and money and labor and effort. I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time student, and I do this because I enjoy putting out content and engaging with you guys. But there are people who make this their job, and, you know, this is directly impacting their ability to financially succeed in life. And, you know, it's disappointing, you know, because there's nothing illegal. This is a lawful activity in the United States, but man, it's really coming down now. So anyway, bitshoot.com. I'm looking for other platforms to put videos on. I tried the vlogs. I think it was the vlogs. It's another site, but they only allowed you to upload a couple hundred megs at a time. And, you know, I'm putting together 2 gig videos, so it's kind of hard to upload there. I opened up a Steam account. I've opened up other accounts throughout, you know, other platforms. But staying relevant in the gun industry, or staying relevant in society, and staying active and trying to continue to push the Constitution and the Second Amendment, you know, we need to be where the people are. And if the people aren't going to Full 30, if they're not going to, you know, Patreon, because that's just not the kind of content that they want to see, you know, and they're not laser focused on one type of content, they want to see a broad range of content. You know, YouTube's going to need to see, and they're going to need to feel the competition from somebody else. And I don't know where that is yet, but, you know, if you're making your living doing this, I really feel for you. You know, I know that this is an expensive medium to try to, you know, get your message across to people and engage with people. You know, I remember the days of forums and people just kind of, you know, putting comments up there and waiting 2-3 days for somebody to respond, you know, or not respond at all, because those were very, you know, specific to the kinds of people that consumed that information and that content. So, you know, it's really going to be a sad day if all video streaming services become relegated to that type of, you know, single focused delivery system. You know, it's only gun channels, or it's only car channels, or it's only channels that deal with you know, firearms training, or you know, social media services, you know, video content creation sites that only cater to these specific kinds of activities. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling on now. You know, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. God knows more than ever now. Please subscribe, and share with people. Let's dialogue. Let's get this information out. Let's let people know what's going on. And if you're not happy with it, let people know that. Let YouTube know that. Let Google know that. Let Facebook know that. Facebook is another platform that's been a little heavy-handed, and they're catching a lot of hell right now because of the fallout from the elections and the manipulation of user data. But a year from now, that could all be water under the bridge, and they could be coming down on gun people as well. They've done it in the past through, directing traffic away from gun channels or gun people, gun personalities. So there's no reason why they couldn't do that in the future to gun channels once some of the pressure's off of them. So anyway, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. If you've watched this far, please subscribe. That helps. Check me out over at BitChute. Like, comment, whatever. Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and hope you have a good one. See you. Bye.